Hey guys, well, today I'm going to be taking a look at this little mini whoop. I guess you could say it's mini size from Potensic. Got this in from Amazon yesterday. Sent to it by Potensic on Amazon to review this whoop. It is like a Wi-Fi FPV type of a flyer. It's not, you know, necessarily like a tiny whoop, but it's, I guess you could sort of put it in that classification. But you know, it has the camera. It's more for doing a little FPV flying. Though I don't know, you know, Wi-Fi FPV is not the best. It's a bit laggy. We'll see how that works in the review. I would prefer if they just, you know, did not include a camera on this. I just want to fly these whoops around without any camera, just line of sight. So we'll see how that works. This one is in red, as it says here on the front, and it has your basic information here on the box for you know, Wi-Fi, headless mode, 1 key return. So you can see the controller does hold the your phone for Wi-Fi FPV, and the model number for this is the A30W. So let's go ahead and do a quick unboxing of this today, and then I'll try to get it up in the air. Probably end up flying this outdoors. It may be a little bit big to do much video in my basement since there's not a lot of room to fly around here. So I'll try to do it outside when the weather cooperates. These designs don't handle wind real well, so we had to find a day whenever it's relatively calm. It's going to act sort of like a sail in the wind, so we got to be careful with that. So let's go ahead and we'll open it up and see what's inside. I did take a peek inside, but I've not actually unboxed it ahead of time. Sometimes we do that when we're unboxing to get the batteries in, you know, and get it prepared and then put it back in. I've just taken a peek inside, so I've not done any you know, inspection of it beyond just taking a look in the drone in the box. So let's go ahead and tell you some charging methods here. You know, it's pretty common sense stuff. So right inside the box here, we've got a nice packaging, and it's got a little foam on top to protect it. Pretty cool looking. Let's go ahead and take that off, and you've got the drone sitting on top here. Hopefully I can get this in. Usually I do these unboxings using my head cam, but I wanted to get on camera today since it's been a while since I have, but it may not be the best because it's a little bit harder to see inside here using this. And I've got my Firefly. This camera here is what I usually use on my head, and I'm just trying to give it as a secondary view. I imagine sometimes it'll be obscured, and hopefully the main camera will catch what we're trying to see. So here's the drone. Go ahead and take it out. Looks pretty cool. I like the look of it. This is just a cheap plastic, but it looks nice. Plastic, you know, fan ducts around here, tri-blade props, and your camera here on the front. And it looks like this camera is, you can swivel it, so that's nice. Though typically you want these facing straight out so you don't just look at the ground the whole time you're flying around. Looks like it has an on and off switch here on the back. So overall, pretty pleased with the way that the drone itself looks. Let's set that off to the side and pull out the rest. Let's see what's in here. I said I've not opened any of this up. I've not looked at this ahead of time, so I don't have any idea. Looks like we got some spare props here, a screwdriver, and a micro USB charging cable. So I'll have to see what the battery looks like. I don't think the battery was in the drone. Wow. Haven't seen an instruction manual like this. Of course, it's got umpteen different languages in it, but nice instruction manual. Probably a little small. It'd be nice if it was a little bit bigger just to make it easier to read. It should have a Wi-Fi app in here. I'll link to that app whenever I do the full review of this in the flight, so you guys know what app needs to be used. Here is the battery. Let's see. Sometimes the Amazon sellers include extra batteries. Let's see if there are any. I don't think so, but let's see what this is. That cable may actually go into this. This looks like this may be a charging dock. So that micro USB may go into that. Nope, not a charging dock. I thought it might have been a charging dock. That would have been cool if they did that. But no, it's got a micro USB cable here on the side, the rear. That's where you'll plug it in. It looks like it's just a regular USB cable. So if it doesn't light up, then it may be the battery is what monitors the voltage. And if that's the case, then you could use any micro USB cable that you have laying around. You don't have to use this one. If it does light up, and like I said, I don't know that yet, then you want to stick with that because otherwise you'd overcharge and ruin the battery. But I think it's just a standard cable. This is just your phone clip for your FPV. So I'm not a big fan of the FPV Wi-Fi on these little toys, but some of you guys like it, so we're definitely going to show it to you. It's spring-loaded. I like that. It looks like it's going to be pretty good at holding your phone in place. So let's see. I think that's all that's in that box. Let's go look. This should be the controller here, so let's go ahead and get that out of here. I can grab a hold of the little holes and pull it out. Here, pull off the top of it, pull the stuff off to the side, and here's our controller. Looks like it has a little quick start on the front that fell off. So that's always nice. I love it when they include that. I see this more with the Amazon sellers than I do from the stuff directly from China, from the Chinese vendors. This is nice because it gives you a quick start, because you know what? A lot of people don't want to mess with reading this instruction manual. Unfortunately, you're probably going to have to for some of the things like the FPV app and stuff, but at least you have an idea. If you just want to throw it up in the air and fly it, you know, here you go. You know how to control it. So it looks like you've got your video and photo on the top here, so you can initiate the recording from the controller, is what I suspect. Sometimes they put that on these drones and they have several different versions, and it ends up that you have to use the app to initiate it. We'll have to see how that goes. And you've got headless mode here, and you've got, I think, your one button takeoff and emergency landing and motor stop, and probably depends if you hold it or not, but it's quick press is going to be for your takeoff, and a quick press probably is for your landing. And this is your headless mode if you choose to fly in headless mode. It says it's an out of range alarm, so I'm guessing if it gets really weak signal, it will probably beep, and I'm hoping that that will come from the controller. So pretty cool, pretty basic. I don't see any rates. Now I'm going to take a quick look here at the sheet again. I don't see it here either. That's interesting. You don't typically see that. You usually see rates on these. You can press on a stick, so we'll have to see if maybe that's what it is, and they just don't tell us on the basic, you know, start sheet. But it's very possible that there is further instructions in the instruction manual. Maybe there are rates. I would like to see rates on a drone. Some of you guys don't need a really quick one when you start out because you're just learning. And you know, hopefully if it's just one rate, it's kind of a nice intermediate rate where a beginner could handle it and an expert flyer is not going to get too bored. So we'll have to find out if that's the case or not. I don't know how many batteries it takes. It looks like it takes 4 AA's, it looks like. So that's a decent amount. Should have a pretty good signal strength, though. I've heard my friend David was telling me that there's maybe some issues with this drone in terms of Wi-Fi range. That wouldn't be unexpected to me. Hopefully the controller range is fine, because again, I don't really care about the Wi-Fi. I want to just fly the drone, but some of you guys, that's much more important than me. I didn't look to see if it tells the milliamp per hour on this battery. It's obviously a 1S. It's 500 milliamp hour. It's going to be really difficult to see that. I'm certain it's not going to show up my camera. It's too small. So just take my word for it, 500 milliamp hour. I ought to get a decent flight time for this little guy. We'll have to see what it gets. Hopefully we get over 5 minutes of flight time out of it. And I don't know where the gyro calibration is. You know, that's something you always want to know on these drones. Probably, let's hope it's down to the right. Sometimes they don't even tell you. It's not uncommon to have no idea and you have to just figure it out yourself. Sometimes you just never figure it out and it has to just calibrate when you turn it on. So we'll have to see how that works too. Obviously the battery slides in here in the rear. Let's see if it goes like this, I think. And there it slides in nicely like that. And the on and off switch on the back. And it lights up a little red light here. Wow, that's the only LED. That's a bit disappointing. That's going to make orientation a little harder because you got your camera in the front and I don't see any lights anywhere else. Now, lack of lights on the whoops is not that uncommon because it's hard. You can't really install a light on these ducks. But it'd be nice if they had them on the motor pods or something like that. But again, that's not that uncommon. So we'll have to just see how it works. If you're flying by FPV and the Wi-Fi works okay, you're going to be able to maintain orientation that way. If it's really laggy, then you may not be looking at the Wi-Fi very much, and usually lag is a problem. Then you're going to be more looking for your lights, and you're just going to have to locate that red light to know that that is the rear. Thankfully, these things are not usually meant to fly far away from where you're located, so if you keep it close, you're not going to have a problem. But if you get very far away and your Wi-Fi, let's say, drops out or it's super laggy, that could be a bit of a problem. So I would have liked to have seen, you know, at least a front light mounted, you know, somewhere up on top, somewhere that's not going to throw glare on the camera. Ideally, I said on the motor pods. All right, guys, well, I think that covers everything for this quick unboxing. Like I said, I've been doing more unboxings lately just because it's been hard to get anything in the air and fly. As summer comes, if I have enough to review, which that's been difficult lately to get a hold of stuff to review, then I'll probably do less unboxings, you know. But some of you guys like the unboxings. You like to see what you get in the box. I always show you that anyway in my reviews, but you know, just at least gives you guys something, and it also gives you an idea of what's coming up on the channel. So I've got this, and then I've got the that JJRC 878G, something like that, a GPS drone, which Brian sent me, he really likes, and a Unique Breeze from Brian, which I'm going to get that up in the air once the weather cooperates. All right, guys, I think that wraps it up. So be sure to subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I always appreciate the subscription. Click the bell so you know if I upload a video, because lots of times we miss these videos from our channels we follow because we don't know they upload unless we click that bell. So make sure you do that. And as always, guys, have a great day.
The power of the dark side.